People ask me all the time, what kind of notice do I need to send to my tenant to start an eviction process? There's three kinds of notices in Chicago. The first one is the 5-day notice. These are used for non-payment of rent, and really that's it. So if the tenant owes you money, that's not like a late fee or some other fee you're tacking on. 5-day notice will get that job done. The second notice is a 10-day notice. That notice is appropriate when the tenant has done damage to the property, brought in a pet, brought in an unwanted guest, might be doing some type of criminal activity or other activities you just don't like that much. You tell them what you don't like, you let them know they have 10 days to fix it or leave, and then you move on. Your final notice is a 30-day notice, but that name's super misleading. It's a notice that you're not renewing their tenancy. So that's a notice to somebody who's existing in place and paying the rent on time that the rent won't be accepted in the future. If they've lived in the home for a short time, under 6 months, you could give them a 30-day notice. But if they've lived there longer than 6 months, you're going to have to give them a 60-day notice, especially for 1-year tenant. And then if they've lived there for 3 years, even if they're just on 3 successive year-to-year tenancies, you're going to have to give them 20 days notice, whether you're asking them to move or you're going to raise their rates. Those notices need to be handed to them, person to person as a regular service, handed to somebody else who lives in the property, mailed to the property, first class, postage prepaid with a little green card registered mail that you'll get back in a few days where the tenant has to sign for it. And then finally, if all of this fails, the house is abandoned, and somebody told you it's abandoned, maybe then you can post it on the door and send it to the tenant. I get at least a phone call every single day of someone saying, I nailed it to the door and sent a copy to the tenant, and that's just not good enough. So in conclusion, there's 3 notices: non-payment of rent for 5 days, bad actions for a 10-day, or non-renewal of lease for 30 or more days, which you should hand to the tenant personally or have them sign for it in the mail. It's a quick legal bite for you today. I'm Justin Abdullah, Chicagoland lawyer, 630-839-9195. Maybe just have me do this instead.